New South Wales Premier has declared a week-long state of emergency ahead of catastrophic fire danger tomorrow. Authorities are warning residents across the state not to be complacent, with a total fire ban in place at least for the next 48 hours. The greatest areas of concern tomorrow are the Greater Sydney and Hunter regions, with strong winds and high temperatures expected to climb into the 30s. 3 people have been killed in the fires so far. 5 others who were reported missing have now thankfully been accounted for. Firefighters are working around the clock trying to gain the upper hand on 66 blazes that are burning in the state. Reinforcements have been sent in from across the nation, with fears crews won't be able to contain all the fires before the danger period arrives tomorrow. The Premier says the government's taking drastic action amid fears this could be the most dangerous bushfire week in Australian history.
We know the weather forecast for tomorrow is at catastrophic levels, and based on that, plus the conditions we've experienced in the last few days, I've accepted the advice of Commissioner Fitzsimmons and declared a state of emergency across New South Wales. This means that Commissioner Fitzsimmons has authority to undertake whatever he needs to do, whatever decision he needs to take to ensure that we protect life and property as much as possible tomorrow. I want to assure the people of New South Wales that this is a precautionary stance. This is to make sure that we leave no stone unturned to keep our community safe tomorrow. I want to thank the heads of all the agencies for their cooperation and support. Everybody is fully supportive of this decision. Everybody is fully on board with what needs to happen. We want to ensure that the lines of authority are clear tomorrow. We also want to ensure that we're doing everything we can to keep life and property safe.
The New South Wales RFS Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons says the dry conditions will create an extremely volatile situation.
The susceptibility of ignition in our vegetation, because it is so dry, cannot be overstated. We've seen the fire behaviour over the recent weeks and months, and particularly the intensity of what happened at the end of last week, and particularly Friday across northern New South Wales. Under severe conditions, you would expect spotting activity traditionally to be up around 4 kilometres ahead of the main fire front. Extreme conditions, you might get that up to 6 kilometres or so ahead of the main fire front. We've been experiencing over the last couple of weeks 6, 10, 12 kilometres spotting activity and multiple spots, multiple ignitions occurring ahead of the main fire front. The flammability of the fuels, because of the lack of moisture, is highly volatile. Fires are starting extremely quickly, easily, and spreading very, very quickly. The risk is real, and the forward spread of those fires is exacerbated by the dryness of that fuel and the ready taking of embers ahead of the main fire front.
We'll take you live now to Taree. Stella Todorovic is at the Taree showground. Stell, sadly, we've heard some reports of looting happening.
Yes, Kieran, that's right, and police are looking into these reports. Sky News understands that looting began last week when residents were initially evacuated when this bushfire crisis began unfolding on Friday. Mid-Coast Mayor David West says that people are taking advantage of the crisis.
The only bastards out there are the people that are taking advantage of empty homes, going inside and looting, and that is happening. Now, what we can do about that when you've got people trying to preserve life, that's a difficult thing. All I can say is these mongrels have got to live with themselves.
Kieran, more than 100 people are seeking refuge here at Taree Showground. More than 700 have made their way through Club Taree evacuation centre, where the Prime Minister and New South Wales Premier visited residents yesterday. So this just gives you a bit of an idea. It paints a bit of a picture as to how many homes are currently abandoned. We've spent some time with residents here at the showground last night and this morning. Shaz Chamberlain, she's a local resident. She's from Tinanee, and she has been evacuated, obviously, and she's here at the showground today. She's told us that one of the scariest and most frightening things about this entire bushfire crisis is the danger of falling trees.
Now, the worst thing I'm going to tell you guys when you can get in is the falling trees. What we experienced, and a noise we'll never forget, is a crack. You hear a crack and then a big tree comes down, and it comes with embers, it comes with smoke, and it comes with fire. The minute the wind starts, that's when they go, and the wind started. At one point, I told Tim, the driver, stop, and I told Brody, who was holding the horse, to go, because one came straight down in between us.
Kieran, tomorrow's conditions are tipped to be far worse than they were last week. Mid-Coast Mayor David West has told Sky News that he is scared that up to or as many as 100 homes could be lost tomorrow if the weather is as bad as predicted. Of course, you've mentioned the catastrophic fire danger that's in place for the Greater Sydney and the Greater Hunter regions, and of course the total fire ban that has been issued statewide. The residents here, they're anxious and concerned about tomorrow with very good reason. Kieran.
Stella, thanks for that.